Now we move to, I kindly request Mr. Vikrant Shome, sir, to come to the stage and take over the next session.
Thank you so much. Great. Hello everyone. How are you doing? How many students over here who have given EPSET JEE this year? Can I get a quick raise of hands? All right. Okay, great. Amazing. And Acha, before we continue with the session, just quickly trying to understand, first of all, thank you so much, Sudhir sir. It was amazing. A very inspirational session, both in the first half as well as today in the second half. Those who have missed the first half session, we are having a recording also, which would be live. So please go and check it out. But yeah, I think key learnings from sir's session was skills versus degrees. Very important question. Degree and skill, both important. But exactly what is it that is going to define your future? You're giving exams. You are working towards your goals and careers. But ultimately, degree without skill is not going to lead you anywhere, and degree plus skill is something which is the norm which has shifted today, right? Especially in the world of tech and AI, which we are seeing very closely at Scalar School of Technology. Before I continue, again, are you comfortable with English? All of you who are okay with English, please raise your hands. Perfect, great, lovely. So, Scalar School of Technology. Before even I start talking about the School of Technology, how many of you have heard about Scalar? Quick raise of hands. Okay. Of course, I mean, when you saw the registration form link for this event, you would have seen the name Scalar. So from there also you would have at least known something. But let me give you a very quick introduction. So Scalar started close to a decade back, and we started as an upskilling institute. So our founders, Mr. Abhimanyu and Anshuman, they came back. Anshuman came back from San Francisco. He worked with Mark Zuckerberg to build Facebook Messenger. And that was in the Valley. He built a team, scaled it up globally. Then he came back to India and he started Scalar Academy. Scalar Academy, as of today, is probably India's largest tech education institution. Where when we started as an upskilling institute where students who graduate after 4 years from college, they would want to learn more about the technical programs in computer science, AI as of today, and that would enable them to get good jobs. So the problem was that students were not employable even after doing 4 years of engineering. So that's where they came to Scalar Academy. They got the upskilling done with we kind of enabled them to learn more about the programs and get more industry relevant, and finally get good jobs in companies like Google, Amazon, Adobe, Flipkart, and so on, at an average package as of today of 33.7 lakhs per annum. That's the average, this year's average for Scalar Academy's placements. Highest package going up to 1.7 crores. Now, in fact, with Scalar Academy, we have done this similar kind of activity with more than 30,000 students in the country. But in 2021, what happened is, in one of our partner companies where students get recruited, Amazon recruited more students from Scalar Academy than all the IITs combined. And that's when we knew that there is something right which we are doing in this process. And with the top tech leaders in the market, our founders thought about building a college that would redefine the way engineering is taught in India, right? So that's how Scalar School of Technology started. And now what are we solving? What are we solving and what are we seeing in the market because of which we started Scalar School of Technology? So two things we are seeing. The first is AI is growing 6 times faster than internet grew in its early years. So what we are seeing is that everyone is able to see this chart very well. How many of you are not able to read the numbers over here? All right. Okay. Some people at the back, you can come forward. Maybe that would help. But I'll read it out for you. So this is 800 million users. This is the level of 800 million users. When internet began, let's say year 0, internet took 13 years to acquire 800 million users. And we all know that internet is so very important for us, right? It's the way that all the recordings would also go live. You would be able to see us again when you go back and check out on YouTube. Internet is something which everyone uses. You swipe reels on Instagram and engage on WhatsApp. So internet, which is such a critical innovation, took 13 years to reach 800 million users. ChatGPT. How many of you have used ChatGPT? Wow, almost everyone, right? ChatGPT just took 3 years. That's 6 times faster, therefore, from internet's growth. Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah. But the challenge in the market today is, in fact, before the challenge, let me talk about the reality of engineering graduates in India, right? I mean, 16 lakh students every year, they graduate as engineers. And this includes your BTech graduates, BSc graduates, BCA graduates, everyone. In fact, about 15 lakh students are BTech graduates, right? But only 16% of these engineering graduates are actually finding a job when they are entering into the market. So I'm talking about freshers. The last point, 80% of this 16%, which means 16 lakhs, 16%, what's the number? 16% of 16 lakhs, what is it? 2.5 lakh, right? 2.5 lakh jobs in the market, of which 80% are CSE jobs, which means 2 lakh jobs are CSE jobs. And in these CSE jobs, what we are seeing in the market is there are 2 kinds of jobs. One is a service kind of a job, which accounts for 1.6 lakh odd jobs. And the other one is product-oriented jobs. Now, I'll explain exactly what is going on. One part which you saw is that AI ML is growing, and it's growing so fast, faster than internet. And on the other side, what you're seeing is engineering graduates are lesser employable, but majority of the jobs are in CSE, service roles and product roles, right? Service roles as of today, 80%. Product roles, 20%. Now, what is AI actually doing over here? AI essentially is replacing a lot of these jobs which you see in CSE. Now, what kind of jobs? Service role jobs, which essentially are jobs in the companies like TCS, Wipro, LTI, Mindtree. These are jobs where you would be doing something which is very standard in process, where you don't need too much of complex knowledge, complex learnings. You would be having a basic elementary understanding of coding, and you would be able to work in these companies as support and maintenance staff for clients who would be having a product and wanting you to just manage processes and work streams over there, right? So it's essentially support and maintenance work for US clients, or typically clients who would be hiring companies like TCS, Wipro. This is the simple kind of a job which, by the way, attracts a package of 4 to 7 lakhs per annum, right? So any placement reports where you see that the average package is anywhere between 4 to 7 lakhs, you can assume that most of the students are making it into the service industry. Now, nothing bad about it, but the problem is that these jobs are going to be replaced by AI agents. And that is what is happening in the market today, where most of the students, or rather professionals right now, are in the fear of losing their jobs because AI has come in. Now, as of today, nobody has lost as much as they would in the next 5 years. So my estimate is this 1.6 lakh jobs which you see in computer science engineering, in service roles, it should come down almost half in the next 3 to 5 years, if not more. But on the other side, if you see, there are product roles. Product roles are essentially in companies which are typically building products for consumers or for businesses. Typically companies like Uber, Walmart, Flipkart, Apple, Google, and so on, Amazon as well. And there, what you require, all of you over here who are smart students, right? You have an intellect and you have the capability of solving problems. That's what you have done in your competitive exams. Yes or no? You have solved problems, right? In your JEE and EBSET. Yes, no, questions, problems. Raise your hands if you have solved problems in JEE. Yeah, okay, that's great. Yeah, so essentially you are problem solvers. And these companies want problem solvers. They want you to come in and build projects which would enable them to create more opportunities, to automate more stuff, and eventually that will creep into the service roles. So product roles is where I see more merit, where growth is going to be higher. And in the future, this 40,000 odd jobs which you're seeing today, that would grow to more than 1 lakh. That's the estimate. And within these product jobs, the fastest growing opportunities are in the field of AI ML, in the field of robotics. The other roles, cloud and DevOps, full stack, cybersecurity, also follow. The challenge in this market is that there is a huge shortage of skilled engineers who can build on AI. In fact, what has happened is product engineering has seen a wave of growth because of the emergence of AI. Because AI is there, the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, says they would hire more engineers because of AI. There is another company, GitHub. How many of you know about GitHub? Okay, great. Few of you know about GitHub. GitHub wants to hire the smartest engineers in the market, just same as Google. But the problem which they are facing, and especially this is a problem in India, that for every 10 roles in AI which are open as of today, right, there is only one engineer who is skilled enough to get hired in these roles. And that's the problem, which is an opportunity actually for you. How is it an opportunity? The opportunity lies when you're looking at processes, looking at ways to become more industry relevant by going outside of your traditional approach. And the sad reality as of today is that traditional engineering is broken in a way. Why? Because curriculum is outdated, it's more than 20 years old. Faculty are PhD graduates who have never really worked in the industry or having had limited exposure. I would not say that never really worked. They would have probably relatively lesser exposure as to what is required for you. And lastly, what happens is overall in your journey in the college, you don't really connect with the market, the companies, the industries via projects, competitions, internships, as much as is required. So that's the problem in the traditional system. For you to become an engineer who is industry ready and industry relevant, engineering needs to evolve in general. There needs to be a curriculum which enables you to become more industry relevant, which gives you the learnings what are required in the industry. You need faculty who come with top tech experience, deep industry knowledge. And ultimately, you need more opportunities to work with the industry via, again, the internships, projects, and so on. All of that is what essentially Scalar provides. As we talked about Scalar School of Technology and Scalar Academy in general, right? So this has been our journey. More than 900 partners who provide placement assistance to students. 15,000 students, this was old data, now it is more than 30,000 students who have basically had their careers transformed with Scalar. 94% is our placement rate. As sir said, 100% is a myth, right? But yeah, sir, we are reaching close to 94%. So with your blessings, we should be doing much better. So yeah, and that comes at an average package of 21.6 lakhs. So that's something which, you know, it shows that the students are not really going into service-oriented jobs. They're going into jobs which are more product-oriented. And of course, the story of Amazon, which we just discussed. Amazon hired more students than all the IITs. And this is where our alumni work. All companies which are product-oriented companies. In fact, we are very proud that Amitabh Kant, who was the ex-CEO of Niti Aayog, he made this comment in a national exposure, national dais. He said that today when even top-tier institutes like IITs run old syllabus, Scalar does the job of producing high-quality engineers. So that's something which has been a marquee achievement for us in terms of respect which we have gained in the market. And therefore, in 2023, we started Scalar School of Technology to reinvent the way engineering is taught. Our faculty members who teach are top tech leaders in the market. People like Mr. Arvind, who has been the co-creator of ChatGPT 3 and 4. Varun Mohan, Google DeepMind. Yash Kumar from OpenAI. Mr. Amod Malviya, who is ex-CTO of Flipkart. Akash Saxena, CTPO Viacom. How many of you watch cricket? Have watched India-Pakistan match? Would be a crowd favorite, I guess. So many hands. Okay? That is aired on a platform called Hotstar, right? How many of you have seen Hotstar? Everyone. Great. Hotstar was built by Akash Saxena. And crores of Indians watch cricket all in one point of time, right? So that's the kind of faculty who comes in. He's a super mentor for students at Scalar School of Technology. And similarly, these are the journey. No, you can go ahead. Yeah. And these are the outcomes which students get once they get exposure with top tech faculty, right? In fact, our Dean of all faculties, Kshitij sir, is also there today for all of you to ask questions. Kshitij sir, he's himself ex-Snapdeal. We'll discuss more about him. And the outcome which sir and peers have been able to get, right? Students like Krishna Patitar, he's making it into Apple Developer Academy. He's India's first student in 2025 who made it to Apple Developer Academy Bali. That's not an IIT final year student or an NIT student or a BITS Pilani student. It's a second year student at Scalar School of Technology who made it to Apple Developer Academy internationally. And Apple Developer Academy in general have had only 100 students selected globally. This year, I think another 5 students, if I'm not wrong, would be going for the Apple Academy. Another example is Tushar, whose success is that he made AI glasses for the blind. His company's name is Persevia. He sat for a competition by Samsung, Solve for Tomorrow, and he won a 25 lakhs grant for building the AI glasses for the blind. And now I think he's in talks with Lenskart for a national level purchase order as well. Yeah, let's go ahead. One of the biggest success stories for us this year has been with Emergent. How many of you have heard about the company Emergent? Okay, there are a very few people who raise their hands. So I'll tell you, Emergent as of today is India's fastest growing startup in the AI segment. They built a no-code tool which enables you to build apps on the fly. So you can just write what you want and you will be able to build an application out of it immediately. Emergent it's founded by ex-Dunzo founders. How many of you know Dunzo? Quick show of hands. Dunzo. Okay. Swiggy, Instamart, Zepto. All of you would be knowing, I'm assuming. Okay, great. So Dunzo was the forefather of Swiggy, Instamart, Zepto, and so on. It was the first company in quick commerce space. And that startup shut down. It was successful, then it shut down. And the founder, one of them, Mukund Jha, he started Emergent. And Emergent grew from 0 to $300 million in valuation in about 9 months' time. And you know what the cool part is? When Emergent started, Mukund Jha reached out to our founder, Anshuman, and he asked for an engineer who could enable him to build Emergent. That time, Emergent, 9 months back, was at 0, right? They started, and Shivansh, one of our students, made it to Emergent as a founding engineer. Cut to today, 10 out of 20 developers. So they have a team of 20 odd developers in Emergent as of today. And half of their dev team is Scalar School of Technology second, third year students combined. And this is a company which is India's fastest growing AI startup. So I feel that students who made it through and are now working in Emergent while studying at Scalar School of Technology, they are at the forefront of the AI revolution which is happening globally. And this is all possible because of our faculty members and the kind of program which we have built. So what is exactly the program? Scalar School of Technology offers a 4-year UG degree program, fully residential in Bangalore, where it's not easy to get admission, of course. Last year, about 21,000 students applied for SST. 687 students only got selected. So essentially, we have a 3.3% selection rate. You have to give the exam called NCET exam to get an admission into Scalar School of Technology. The details of NCET are available once you step out of the room and go downstairs later. You would be able to get our team who will ask you if you would want to appear for NCET. Additionally, you would have all received a handbag, a goodie bag with you. Yes, no? Great. So within that, you would find an exclusive letter. So I think Ramesh sir, he might be outside, but once he comes back, he will talk about more details. So what sir has been kind enough to do from dream to direction, along with Sudhir sir, is they have paid 50% of your admission application form fees. So fees is of 1,000 rupees. And Sudhir sir and team, they have paid the first 50%. And the remaining 50% is for you to now pay. So you don't need to pay the full amount. You just need to pay 50% of it. And you'll be able to apply for the NCET exam, right? Now, how is Scalar therefore different? After doing all of this, what did we achieve? A curriculum which is real world and not outdated. Instructors who are top tech leaders and not people who are PhD graduates with limited experience. Students who learn at Scalar School of Technology are actually building products right from day one of college. So you actually need to do 50 plus real world projects by the end of your 4 years so that you are able to graduate successfully. So you don't write code on pen paper, you actually build it in your laptops and build real world products, solve problems. You get mentorship from industry professionals at multiple stages. So we have a 4-tiered mentoring program. The entire curriculum is built in this way and the program is structured in a way where we have super mentors, we have instructors, we have faculty members who are other mentors, and then there is a buddy program in your hostels as well. You get internships which are paid internships, and in fact, the stipend analysis is also something I'll show it to you. Students at second year of an engineering college getting an average stipend of 35,000 rupees per month. And I'm not talking about a 2-month internship or a 3-month internship. These are internships which are as long as 15 months as well, which students have been able to crack right from college. The highest stipend goes up to 2 lakhs per month. And we'll talk more about it in case we have time. So that's the kind of internship outcomes which come in. And we as an institute support you with the right infrastructure against a traditional ecosystem where there is no support. And finally, of course, there is employability, and as a graduate, you become the exact replica of what is required in the industry. You become at the level of a senior software development engineer in any top tech company. That's what you end up becoming. Yeah, we can go ahead. So this is a part of the curriculum. I mean, I would not really go deeper into this. If you're interested further, Swaroop will be able to talk more about student achievements, student curriculum. Sir is here, Kshitij sir, Mrinal sir. They would be able to talk more about the curriculum, why we have built the way we have built. But I'll just quickly skim through, very quickly to tell you, year 1 is foundation, where you learn the basics. Year 2 is where you go deeper into the basics. The end outcome is that you become SDE 1 level qualified engineer by the end of 2 years. Whereas your peers from traditional college, they would have still been doing the basics of 12th grade and after that the fundamentals of technology, and you would be far ahead. There are some electives you can choose as well in second year. And year 3 is about specializing. So specializations happen in 3 different cohorts. So you can choose any of the cohorts if you would want to do a specialization. And finally, these are the tool stacks. You can go back. These are some of the tools which are covered. I mean, half of these are not even covered when you are doing any kind of a traditional college. I am a graduate of NIT Durgapur, by the way. So I am a first engineering graduate of my family. I did my chemical engineering and I have my peers from the IT as well as CSE. They did not even study 10% of these tools, which are otherwise relevant today in the market, in the industry, being utilized day in, day out. And finally, in the fourth year, you completely have an industry immersion where whatever you have learned in college, you apply in the industry via internships again, or projects, or industry sponsorships, and or else you just build your own startup, right? And you get seed funded, by the way, if you're building a startup at Scalar School of Technology. Just quickly talking about one point, in fact, a dedicated program this year, which we have started, is for all those technocrats who are interested also a little bit in business. That's called AI and Business Program. The twist in that program is that you get to learn 70% of coding with 30% managerial skill sets. And in the final year, we give you seed fund to start your own company in the first 6 months. If you are able to build a company, congratulations, you're in the top 1% of all individuals in tech. If you're not able to build, that's also fine, because you'll be able to sit for placements with the rest of the batch. And by the way, if let's say your startup fails after 1 year of graduating from college, even then you have placement assistance where you can sit. It's called deferred placement support. You'll be able to sit with your junior batch for placements, and you'll be able to get placement successfully from campus. I mean, placement support will be provided to you.
ఈరోజు ఇంత ప్రోగ్రామ్కి ఇంతమందికి ఇక్కడ ఇటువంటి వెన్యూకి ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అంతా స్పాన్సర్ చేసిన వాళ్ళని గౌరవించుకోవడం మన ఇండియన్ కల్చర్ కాబట్టి లెట్స్ ఇన్వైట్ స్కాలర్ స్కూల్ ఆఫ్ టెక్నాలజీ పీపుల్ ఫర్ ఎ స్మాల్ టోకెన్ ఆఫ్ గ్రాటిట్యూడ్. సార్, ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ all 4 of you.
Vikrant sir, thank you sir, thanks for your support.